What's going on, everybody? It's Ralph with Pondscapes out in Gilbert, Arizona. It is time to do something really cool right here behind me. Small space, huge impact. Now, if you listen closely, you can hear that traffic just about 2 doors down. There's a major road right behind me. Now, the nature of this project is to get rid of that sound and bring some peace and tranquility in this backyard in the way of a multi-cluster stacked slate urn fountain piece with a beautiful bowl. So let me show you what we got in mind. All right, guys, so this is what we have. We have 3 of the small stack slate urn fountain pieces from Aquascape. These guys measure about 33 inches high by 21 inches across. Now, we're not gonna use the entire elevation of all of these. And you can see right here on the diagram, they're segmented pieces. So what we're gonna do is actually convert the bottom section of one of them into a fountain piece. Now, we're also gonna be using a green slate 32-inch patio pond bowl. Now, that guy is gonna get modified and cut and create a spill coming out of it. Where our canvas is gonna be right here. Now, what's gonna happen later on in this grass area, this is gonna be converted into a putting green synthetic turf area. So all of that grass is coming away, but we do have a boundary line. The homeowners don't want us really going past this curbing area right here. So what we're thinking our footprint is gonna be is about 8 feet with 3 of the urns, a bottom section of the urn, a spill bowl, creating a symphony of sound and sight to go right through here. Now, something important for the homeowner, this is his favorite spot to sit, and he loves looking across at that tree. So we want to make sure that we don't interrupt that view and have too big of an elevation or a dense setting. So we want to be able to see through this comfortably. So that's what's in mind. Okay, now that we know we've got that layout, let's talk about the big problems, those hurdles. We got some hurdles, and I think I can hear the guys bringing the machine back right now. All right, so obviously this is a tight squeeze. We've got our excavator coming through. Those tracks are retracted down to 39 inches wide. We've got this hose bit. It'd be nice if that doesn't get broken. We've got this wall. It'd be nice if that doesn't get scuffed. Blake, it'd be nice if we fit under this. Okay, so I think that's probably about as tight as it's ever been for us to get a machine in place, and we don't have a lot of room to work with this, but we could have done this project without the machine. However, we are going to be using some big boulders and placing those around the back. We're going to do some type of rock retention on the back, setting some big chunkers, and it's just gonna help us dig this out. I think digging is gonna be pretty simple, but to have this on site really helps us out, makes things a lot more efficient, even though it took a little bit to get it back here. What do you got?
I got something to show you.
All right, guys, we ran into a little bit of a hurdle. Now, one thing that we don't know when we get into a project is what's underground and if it's still in use. So you see, we've got 3 PVC lines running right here. Now, Jaren was watching me as I was digging. The reason for this hole is we're gonna take this pygmy palm and transfer it right over here. But ran into that, broke that. Now, we investigated that irrigation box over there, turned on all those valves. It is not pushing water out over here. Checked out the irrigation clock out front, and we could tell where there was some old valves wired up. They are no longer in service. So my guess is before this pool was in place, this was feeding grass lines. So don't worry, Jaren. Blake?
Not worried about
it. Yeah, you weren't worried at all. You He was out front. He didn't care what we were doing. All right, back to digging. So now things are really slowing down on this project, and the reason for this, a feature like this, it's not taking up a huge footprint, but there are lots of things going on. We had to adjust this boulder a few times to make sure that we had adequate room for that manifold. So that manifold is going to go in there, and then after we get that guy in, we have got to figure out how to get lines to each one of these. So we are going to be using this 1-inch flex PVC line, and then once we get to the bottom of an urn, we will convert to a 90-degree rise, and then we will put this 1-inch PVC line coming right up to the top right there. So that is what the underground is going to look like under all of these features. And then the next complicated portion of what we've got to do, we've got to wire all of these for lighting. So we know on the tops of these where that light source is going to go, and we're going to just bring our lights over actually out this side and connect into the existing landscape lighting. There's one of the spotlights that was on this pygmy palm previously, so we'll just connect right into that. So that's not a big deal, but we don't want to see any of those wires, so we're going to have to snake that all through and also figure out bibbing. We're going to fill this up with gravel, create different elevations, and then bib and seal this liner up so we can have that water be directed to where we want it to go. Here we go, it is plumbing time. So Blake and Jaron are going to get this plumbing going. We got that manifold set, we've got our hole in place. So what we've got to do is notch a couple of spots, which has already been done. So those ball valves right there will get glued into place, and then we'll have that flex line run right through to the appropriate features. And that's about it, right? That's right. Exciting stuff. We gave it a test run. Jaron, how'd you like the test run? 10. We are not going to show you guys the test run. We want you to see the full completion. So very few adjustments that had to be made, which is always a good thing. So obviously you remember the manifold of ball valves. That's all been covered. That is, they are set to operate just the way we want. We've got to just tie in our float valve, drop that in. And down here on the bottom, I want to bib this final section. I want to get a little pooling action right there. So we've got our lights all set up. We've got 9 lights in this small feature. So we've like literally about 8 feet wide, 7, almost 8 feet deep, 9 lights. This thing is going to glow and look beautiful. So we got this notched out, and we got water coming out of this one. That stream coming over that is beautiful. So enough jaw jacking. Let's finish this thing. All right, guys, so here's the breakdown, what we've got going on in here. We have 3 of the Aquascape stacked slate urns. We've got the 32-inch patio pond, and this is the green version, and it really blends well with these stacked slate urns. And then over here we have the lower section of one of the stacked slate urns, because with these, obviously you can see they're different elevations. We didn't need all of the pieces to create that elevation difference, so we wanted to use that in a different aspect. So we notched it out, and this will be an excellent planting bowl along with this one. And then of course we've got some natural drops, and this thing is loaded down with lights. Every one of the urns has a light fixture in the top. We've got a total of 9 lights within this feature. So this thing glows at night, just looks fantastic. All right, guys, you know the drill. Hit that like button if you like this video. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and we'll see you on the next video.